actually sounded like half a fucking retard. I will definitely admit that. But I still stand by my opinions. And I kept bringing up a guy by the name of Terry Bradshaw, who has 4 Super Bowl rings. And, everybody hit me with, dude, he only threw for like 25,000 fucking yards. Well, they have a great article on Terry Bradshaw in Sporting News magazine this week or this month. I don't really read this magazine. But that kid from Nebraska was on the cover. That Damukong Su. I don't know. He's got a great fucking name. And the Patriots needed defensive tackle, but I know we're not going to draft high enough to get that guy. But I just wanted to read about him because I figured maybe they'd talk about other defensive tackles that were available because I have no life. But anyways, I opened it up, and lo and behold, there was a great article about Terry Bradshaw, which basically backs up what the fuck I was talking about. At least in my world, it does. And they mentioned right in the beginning, it said Bradshaw won his 4th and final Super Bowl ring with an MVP performance for the Steelers at the Rose Bowl. Among quarterbacks, only Joe Montana has that record, and it's quite possibly none will ever surpass it. Okay, all you Peyton Manning fans out there, do you think he's going to get 5 fucking rings? You think he'll get 4? I think he could possibly get 3. He's not getting 4, though. All right? And this is coming from fucking Terry Bradshaw, a man who played the game. This is a quote from the article. The only thing that matters in the pros is winning the Super Bowl. I've never had anyone come up to me in my life and say, hey, Terry, how many yards did you throw for? How many touchdown passes do you have? It's all about rings. Does that sound familiar? Go listen to the fucking February 8th podcast. Maybe Terry listens to my podcast. How fucking arrogant is that? But then he says it's all about rings. But dude, the shit that this guy took, I knew in the beginning of his career that this guy had a rough time in Pittsburgh, and everybody, basically treated him like a dumb redneck, and kind of like what they did with John Rocker. I always thought John Rocker got a bum deal because I was living in New York, and they were basically calling this guy a fucking moron redneck, in not so many words. And then he comes out and starts trashing New York. And then typical media, they get to step away like they didn't incite any of it, And all the Mets fans get to act like they weren't fucking yelling shit at him. I used to be doing a bit about that the punchline was basically you had date rapists and wife beaters throwing batteries at a bigot. That was my little fucking social commentary on the John Rocker incident. Let me get back to this shit. Not supporting anything that John Rocker said, but you know what I mean? It's like, if you're going to fucking throw rocks at a hornet's nest, yeah, I don't know. Did I almost just say you're going to get stung? You know what I almost just created there was one of those southern fucking expressions that I love so much. Faster than turkey shit through a tin horn. I'll tell you, that boy fucking rock if he thought a snake was under it. Anybody from down south can just send me a whole list of those fucking things. Have I already done this on the podcast and I don't remember? I absolutely love those fucking expressions. That boy'd fuck mud. I don't even know what they mean. That boy would fuck a rock if he thought a snake was under it. How does that make any sense? But what I love about it is even though it doesn't make sense, you understand what the person is saying. And there's a genius to that. So anyways, let's read about Terry Bradshaw's the early part of his fucking career. Basically, yeah, they were shitting all over him. Well, why don't we have Terry say it here? He said, you have to understand something. My first 5 years were not the best. I had shit thrown in my face. I was booed, criticized, called stupid and dumb. Players were saying, players on his teams were saying, we win in spite of him. He stutters in the huddle. I had so much of that shit thrown at me, I got bitter about it. And my coach, who I thought never defended me in public, Chuck Noll, the thing was I was never his chosen one. I had to sit back and come to grips with all that, and it was very painful for me. It wasn't a storybook career. So I take a great deal of pride in being the quarterback of the team that won all those Super Bowls. Yeah, and the guy never gets the fucking respect. Do you know before Super Bowl 13, Thomas Hollywood Henderson said Terry Bradshaw couldn't spell cat if you spotted him the C and the A. So they asked Bradshaw about this. And if you watch football, he always comes off like this guy just being all silly and joking around. But he goes, well, it ticked me off. The thing that ticked me off was nobody defended me. Who came out on my team and said, bullshit, he calls the plays, he sets it up? Who defended me? Chuck Noll didn't defend me. The only guy I know who said something was Joe Green. And then here I got to deal with this thing going into the Super Bowl. What the hell am I going to do? I'm smart enough to know not to get in that argument with Hollywood Henderson through the media because it's a distraction. I don't have time for that shit. Okay, so I can't spell cat if you spot me the C and the T. That's some good shit. Congratulations. Then you go out and you kick their asses. How's my spelling look now? You're the one who had to go to prison. He took it there. Terry's an angry motherfucker. Or whatever. I love it. I love it. You know something? And he never went back to Pittsburgh. I didn't even notice that shit. When he was done, he just left. He doesn't even talk to any of the players. And he goes, I mean, it's kind of a failure of my personality. I don't know. It's a really interesting article because if you watch him on whatever the hell the show is called, the NFL pregame, he still plays it up like he's this, this country boy, but he isn't. He's fucking sharp as a tack, and he didn't like the way he was treated in Pittsburgh, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that, considering those guys, how seriously they take their team and their fucking quarterback who gave him 4 Super Bowls. You treated him like such shit, I like when teams do that to their fucking players because it makes Boston fans look better because God knows we're a bunch of fucking assholes.